Where's the music, buddy?
I don't know. I got to think of some song. I'm slacking. You
Gabe,
threw me off
Gabe,
by coming on late.
Gabe
So,
song, Gabe song. We should do the
oh
Gabe.
no, you know what? I actually haven't time to. You know what? I think I still have it. Let me see if I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
pull it
Gabe
up
song
real
is
quick and play it. I mean, I don't
Gabe
have
song is the
the.
shit.
What's up?
Gabe song is the shit. That's a great fucking little song. Anyway,
Yeah, let me see. That was 52. We're in
yeah, it was
54.
the anniversary. Yeah,
Let me
within I think it
see.
was like the first 3 minutes or so, or something like that. Or whatever. Hey, everybody, we're just having a conversation. Don't mind us.
Hold on.
Oh, Donnie's here already. Donnie's talking smack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll get it for next week. I'll have that. So we'll have
Okay,
our song
next
played
week
at the
we'll open
beginning.
with that. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. How's it
But
going?
either way, what's going on? It's Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Rideshare Guy. When you're talking YouTube, you can obviously catch it on the audio podcast version as well, which is usually posted the following day on Wednesdays. And you can follow that on any major podcasting platform. And then, yeah, beyond that, we got some great show for you today. But Sergio, how you doing first?
Doing great, buddy. Doing well. Doing
Awesome.
well. Ready for today. A lot of stuff going on today.
Oh yeah. A lot of stuff. So we have we got a big giveaway coming. Well, sort of a big giveaway, but we got a giveaway coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Today we're going to be talking about the Uber earnings report that just came out earlier this morning. I got to say, one of the better performing stocks of the day comparatively to the rest of the market, considering that bank issue that happened yesterday, actually, when JP Morgan took that bank over. Interesting, which kind of shook up the market. But yeah, Uber earnings report. We're going to be going over that. Great for Uber, good or bad for drivers. We'll see. Then also, is Lyft listening? You know, we're seeing a screenshot about the switcheroo. I'm sure drivers are going to be very happy if this rolls out to all markets. But yeah, you're going to enjoy this. And if you have that in your market, let us know because we'd like to know a little bit more. Also, we're going to be talking about Lyft bonus protection, what that's all about, and also Lyft now threatening for trips going over the upfront estimate, meaning you're taking your good old sweet time, and now they're trying to throw down the hammer. We're going to be talking about that. It is the first week in May. Happy May, which is awesome. But we have the Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award recipient for April. Amazing story there. Sergio, when you sent that to me, I was like floored. And then we have a video too from that, which is just backing it up. And it's like, holy crap. So congratulations to that driver who went above and beyond during the time that they needed to. Also, we're going to be talking about the Uber 911 button. Does it work as promised? A couple of things there when it comes down to it. We have a story from a driver who posted to us. Also, we're going to update your your acceptance rate and cancellation rate calculations, which is going to be recalculated starting May 22nd. So we got a couple of weeks until that starts. Although we have a new Uber Pro rewards session starting that started yesterday. So yeah, if you want to get that cash bonus or try for it if you can, then make sure you pay attention to that there. But yeah, there's new Pro program rewards quarter happening now. And then, yeah, we are going to be covering the Uber Eats driver in Florida, what happened to there. We're going to be talking about that. Unfortunately, another issue, another problem, another killing, not cool. We're going to be talking about that, though. And then we're going to be talking about the airport and event protests coming nationwide on Thursday. So it's going to be interesting there. Also, this fake name stuff continues to roll in. We have some more fake names. We have a fake name story with a fake name. And then we're going to obviously end it with some funnies. So that is what's going on the docket for today. So we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to get right to it. First off, you know, we've been doing some giveaways because we love you guys and we love hanging out with everybody. And we want to show you the money for hanging out with us. So if you're in the car driving around listening to us, hey, we appreciate that. Hopefully your passengers or your food, depending on what you're doing, will be educated very well. But You know
Yeah.
what? We want to show you the money. So if you enter hashtag SMTMC in the live chat right now, at some point very soon, we're going to do the drawing. Just make sure you get your chance in. You could win $25, which is going to
Free
be
money.
awesome. Yeah, free
Free
money.
money.
So all you got to do is just
Money.
take your fingers and hit hashtag SMTMC in the
All
live chat.
lowercase. All
lowercase, yes. And
Okay.
then hold on. After you type in the SMTMC hashtag, make sure that you also hit the like button. So
Yeah. Come on,
little
man.
plug there.
Yeah. We need
But
love.
beyond that, yeah, we want you to get started on that. So everybody who's in the chat right now, make sure you do that. I've got 11 entries. Smash it in there, and we will get back to that after a few topics. So make sure you stick around for a couple of topics. We may have a second one that we're going to be talking, another one coming up very soon. So you may want to stick around for that one in the event. But either way, go ahead, Serge, what were you saying?
Lindy, hashtag SMTMC, not SMTMC hashtag. We appreciate it though, because please correct it so you can get a chance to win the $25.
And you can only enter once. So if you want to try and spam the chat, the only thing you're probably going to do is get kicked out. So just do it one time. You're only going to get one entry. The program that does this is pretty accurate. They're not going to allow multiple entries, just so you know. If you have multiple accounts and you want to do it, well, that's I can't say for or against that, but
well, yeah. So where do we go now? We go Sunshine Award. What are we doing? I don't even know.
No, we're gonna go right into
we're gonna go to
Uber earnings.
Uber
yeah,
earnings,
we're gonna go right in the Uber earnings.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty, I kind of thought this was coming, especially yesterday. There was kind of a little bit of a leak. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I did,
but the Uber stock, Uber stock went up 5% or something yesterday, and then it went up quite a bit today. Yeah, they've had a pretty good earnings report when it comes down to it. I know you were on the call this morning, so take it away.
Yeah, so the leak was actually valid because yesterday Uber call options, for whoever knows what they are, it's a derivative off of the stock. They traded the most they have ever traded, so somebody banked big time on Uber today. Stock was up 11% on a market that was getting killed. Long story short, I listened to the conference call. I listened to Dara Khosrowshahi and Nelson Chai, who's their CFO. Okay, that's all I can say is, look, you guys know me. I'm not a lover, but this is as well as a rideshare / delivery company can operate under the economic conditions that we're in. Okay, this is as good as anybody can do. Take my hat off to the management, just for the fact that they can keep bringing, these kind of numbers. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue with this. It was an amazing quarter, every facet possible. Okay, I analyzed every number. Top line is growing. They're still not profitable. Megan, thank you. They're still not profitable.
Thank you, Megan.
Did you get your hat, Megan? EBITDA profitable, which is like me saying I'm Brad Pitt according to EBITDA, but I'm never going to be Brad Pitt. But they did more trips than ever, 2.12 billion now. Chris, they're doing 1 million.
That's a lot of dimes right there. 2.12 billion.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dimes and nickels that they're getting
there. A lot
there.
of dimes and nickels, but that's now they broke 1 million orders. Meaning deliveries or rideshare, right? Per hour, every single hour.
Wow.
1 million. Imagine the size of the system, right? And we sometimes wonder how shit goes correctly with these companies. Long story short, congrats to the management. They're doing a great job. Again, the stock is still under its IPO price. We're not going to talk about Lyft today because today is Uber's day. They hit it out of the park again. I talked to the professor. He gave me his opinion. We kind of agreed on this. So key points. Uber reported first quarter results Tuesday. Revenue up 29% year over year. I mean, people are thinking we're going in a recession. These people are growing top line. Look, Uber's run rate per quarter is 34 to 32 to 34 billion dollars. This is a 125 billion run rate company. This is not like we're growing 125,000. at that level, they're still growing, 29% year over year. It's incredible, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means whatever they have done during the pandemic, after the pandemic, getting out of the pandemic, now what they're doing with their Uber ones and Uber Eats is growing, rideshare grew. I mean, it's just there was nothing that I could nitpick and say boo-hoo. There was one thing that I could nitpick and say boo-hoo is obviously they're still not profitable, gap profitable for people who know that. And in the middle screenshot, you guys will read this. Revenue for the quarter was up 29% year over year. Uber noted that its net loss for the quarter was $157 million, of which $320 million was net benefit due to unrealized gains on equity investments. Now, they have these equity investments all over the world. When they got kicked out of China and Russia and India, they took over a lot of equity on the companies who took over their existing operations. And those fluctuate, obviously. So for this quarter, they put into every quarter, there is $300 to $1 billion that they have to mark to market, it's called. They go up, down, up, down. Some quarters are lost. And this quarter, it was a gain. So if you add the 320 million gain to the 157 actual million loss, they still lost $477 million. It's not like they're swimming in cash, but all the trajectory of the company is going the right way. The CEO said, we're very happy with the performance of all operations, all except trucking. Trucking is going the other way. Uber Eats grew, rideshare grew. Now, you guys are gonna get pissed off at me. Their take rate grew. Okay, that's because incentives have been cut quite drastically, as we know as drivers. Their take rate is at 28.9%. That's as high as it's been. Period. Now, take rate, everybody knows what that is. Hopefully, that is how much they take off of your trip. I know I get emails every day. Oh, Serge, they took 60%, 50%, but overall take rate we're talking about. They're not talking about individual basis. Overall, global, this is global, not US. Overall, global Eats rideshare take rate stands at 28.9%, which is amazing, to be honest with you. Now, I think Uber is going to be the first rideshare company that becomes profitable now, if this continues. And
now, my question to you first off is, when do you think it's going to be profitable? Do you think it's going to be next quarter or
by
a
the
few
end of the year?
quarters still?
By the end of the year, yeah. By the end of the next 2 quarters, they're going to be gap profitable, meaning actual money. So, and the CEO said the same thing. We're like ahead of the targets. So he said, by the end of 2024, as promised, we're going to be gap profitable. Okay, fine. Their cash position is fine. It's about $4 billion in the bank they have. Look, man, there was nothing wrong with this report, and stock responded. Stock was up 11% on a market that was down 5%. So, I mean, all kudos. And I think, look, I'm just amazed that they could still grow. Now, if they can keep that take rate together, Chris, at 28.9% or 29%, because they're growing the top line at this level, at the size of this company, and they're still able to grow top line, meaning revenue is growing, then they don't need to take any more from the driver. So all they have to do is just keep growing, take market share from DoorDash.
I think that the other thing, I think that Potbelly Pig that we're talking about right now, I think if they trimmed a little bit of the fat, you could definitely see an increase to get into profitability much quicker.
I'm going to get into that in this because somebody asked that question. Lyft, they said Lyft is cutting. Are you guys going to cut? He goes, we're going to be, headcount is going to be flat to a little bit lower. I think they're going to mess a little bit with trucking because they're not performing well. Now, he said 2 things that are directly related to drivers. Drivers, listen to this, okay? He said, it's all in the conference call. I'm just repeating what this guy said, so don't tell me that I'm just wishing bad things, good things for you guys. He said they're going to use AI. Hello. By the way, this is a cab company with an app. Guess how many times they use the word AI, the CFO and the CEO, Chris?
Today, I'm going to say, if I had to count, 64 times.
No, that's not that high. Software companies do that, but they used it 11 times. 11 times they used, okay? And I was counting, intentionally. So what they're going to use AI, they're going to make the GPS navigation part of the app better. They're going to make the, ETAs better, meaning like when they give you how we complain about that now under upfront fares, when a trip goes longer by time, they're not adjusting, right? They're
Yeah.
saying they're going to use AI to make that a lot tighter. So pretty much whatever you see up front on the app is what you're going to get as a driver and a passenger. I'm like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But the part that I did not like, and it's in there, you guys go listen. He said support. Are you guys listening? Support may actually be completely going to AI bots, and they're saying they're being trained really, really well, and that human interaction may not be necessary after maybe a year or so going forward.
Oh boy.
They're saying that the AI is learning so fast that they're using is learning so fast, and it's the conversational AI. The in the chat, we text
Yeah.
back and forth, right? They're saying they're amazed that in a short period of time how well it is behaving like a human.
Yeah.
This is just quote for quote, people. This is not me. This is a quote for quote.
One of the other things too, though, is if you listen to Google when they were talking about their AI assistant bots,
yeah,
when you're actually calling a company, like let's say a hairstylist,
yeah,
to book an appointment, you're talking to a bot,
yeah,
and a lot of people didn't even realize it. So
yeah,
the technology is already there. It's just a
yeah.
matter of employing it.
So Uber said,
and I have a feeling, yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be even talking to somebody when you have to call support
yeah,
could potentially become a bot, and
yeah,
then
like
it'll
he
just
said it
listen to
like
a
that.
predictive model.
He said it is already behaving very human-like, and it's going to only get better. And I'm going like, holy crap! But that's the news for you guys. As far as, and we'll have to finish segments faster now. As far as overall, if this engine had 8 cylinders, all 8 are firing beautifully. Okay, period. No ifs and buts about it. Lastly, for the drivers, what does this mean? They talked a little bit about the Lyft coming in competing now. What's going to happen. He goes, they have actually 1 million more drivers on the platform than they had. Okay, so everybody loves Uber as a driver and a passenger, and it seems like it. Now let's go to the next couple of screenshots, and then I'll explain you.
Before that, there's one thing that I do want to point out that is definitely something worth mentioning if people are not listening. But in the middle, that screenshot, it says, in a prepared statement, CEO Dara said Uber is off to a strong start for the year. He said the company's global scale also provides it with a significant data advantage of its competitors that will allow Uber to employ AI solutions. There's AI on the consumer side, which we've talked about, and the earner side of the business. And earners, if you don't know that, is drivers, people who are earning an income, and then not employees, but earners.
Read the paragraph in the third screenshot in the middle paragraph. Again, they're talking about.
There's one above that though. It says Karashai, whatever the hell is that, said Uber is already using AI to predict highly accurate arrival times for rides and deliveries to expedite driver onboarding, which you had mentioned, more reliability and cost efficiently, and then also then that third paragraph you're talking about, or middle one. We are still in the early stages of using large data models to power improved user experiences and efficiencies across our platform, with much more to come. So they're going to try to streamline and have everything looked at where they can literally give that exact moment the best possible price to the best possible driver. And I don't mean that in the driver's favor. I mean that in Uber's favor. So if you don't think that they're doing that, 100%. So it's right there when it comes to this article.
And the other thing, by the way, Chris, the AI part, right? It's cost cutting actually without cutting. So at some point these things are going to be so good that why do you need human intervention in Philippines that they're paying for or whatever not, right? So
not only that, but also sometimes some of those are probably all outsourced employees to begin with. So they're probably not actually employees of Uber, but they're actually probably like a firm that's representing Uber. But I don't actually know specifically. I don't know how that's all set up.
You're right. They're not employees, but it still costs money, right? So
for sure. So if they cut that out, but the other thing too is like, how many employees do they have again?
33,000.
Yeah. So I mean, they have a much more expansive business than Lyft does, which is operating at a much smaller scale, and we could see in the numbers. But I'm telling you, hey, you look at how many employees are at Uber,
Yeah.
and you look at their average salary and you cut a few of those people that may be just dead weight, you position yourselves a lot better, and then you
Yeah.
don't have to take from the driver, as he had said.
100%.
And that's the
you
whole
know,
thing too with this AI efficiency and
yeah,
streamlining and everything.
yeah. No, I
Obviously,
think,
those are the buzzwords right now because that's where they want to look at it.
well, yeah, because ChatGPT, AI, whatever you want to call it, writes better than me for RSG now. Why does RSG need me, right? So I mean, to me, it's like, obviously, you have expertise and you're actually doing the work. ChatGPT is not going to get in the car and deliver food. But long story short, a lot of people are pissing in their pants. That includes, by the way, you know what that includes? High-end coders. IBM yesterday said they're going to freeze hiring. They're not going to hire the 7,500 new coders that they were going to hire because AI is writing software faster and better than a lot of the coders that we're going to hire anyway. So coders are also pissing their pants. It's not just us rideshare drivers, guys. High-end coders are also going like, yeah.
Yep.
So one thing to look at here is, okay, this you guys will hammer me with this, but I put it here just for you guys to see it. This is from the slide deck of the earnings report, as they call it. Here's on the second, look, mobility, shit, man, $15 billion, up 40% year over year. Think about it. Come on now. And delivery, even now, the pandemic is over for 2 years. People are still ordering stuff. And look at the balance, Chris. I mean, how much more balance a company can get? 50-50, bro. I mean,
well,
look, man, unless they're doctoring these numbers, I mean, this is unbelievable.
You know what? Honestly, I think the biggest thing was because of if you didn't have COVID happening, then you would not see the delivery arena where it is today when it comes to Uber Eats and DoorDash.
Yeah.
But I think it's just one of those things that has just been so easy for people, and they got so accustomed to it for a year. It just reinforced you to have to sit at home and order food if you wanted food. Yeah. And I think that's probably why they're still continuing to do well. I think it's just become one of those things that are kind of ingrained in people to be able to do that.
I'm a huge skeptic of this company, right, and the management. But let me tell you something. Through Uber One, their stickiness is so high now. Like Uber One is the subscription model.
Yep.
Uber One retained customers, think about this, Chris, are ordering or using the platform 4x to the new customer. So that's how valuable Uber One are. And that's growing 50% at a time. So people are figuring now, I pay the $9.99 in a month, but I'm going to get a lot of services for a discount or free. I mean, there is nothing wrong with everything they touch, it's working. Okay.
You know what? Wait until Uber comes out with a cost calculator. And this is not for drivers. This is for riders. They're going to come out with the car cost calculator, and it's going to tell you how much you could potentially save by getting rid of your vehicle and then just sticking with Uber.
Yeah.
They're going to come out with that soon. I guarantee you. I don't
doubt it. I don't doubt it. And the other thing that it was in the slide deck is this on the right side under the look. They said they redesigned the Uber app, mobility, airport information, blah blah blah. One thing that caught my ear is their advertising is growing at 70 to 100%. Remember, we talked about this, that this was a no-brainer. It's kicking in $1 billion in revenue already in a short period of time. I mean, holy crap, right? That's another thing that they're succeeding with. And on the driver's side, okay, driver engagement at an all-time high with strong earnings levels. Now, I don't know about the with strong earnings levels part, but they have this chart. That's the mean line. The dotted line is the mean line. And, when it took a dive, you guys can see the chart there. That's the pandemic, right? Nobody was driving rideshare, okay? This is only for rideshare, by the way, not deliveries. And then it came back to the mean line. And then, so what you guys need to do is you guys need to, keep an eye on this chart. Every time that dips way below, it's going to come back to the mean line. But by the time for it to come back to the mean line, they have to put out a crazy amount of incentives for the drivers to get their cars out of the garage. And I looked into my history of incentives in LA. Every time that thing separated itself going south from the mean line, man, was I getting some juicy quest. You know what I mean? Just to get me out there. And every time it gets added, the quests get cut. They lower the cost. So, but monthly supply per active hour, driver hour is up 17%. So we confirmed that people are driving more because W-2s are not enough. And a lot more people are out there trying to make a couple $100 cash. And on the right side, the green graph with the mean line again, with the dotted line, that's the weekly earnings. So the chart goes back. If we took out the Win25 part of it, you guys will see the date is 2019. So from 2019 to 2023 now, on active hour, again, not online, earnings are up 43% on the driver's side. Now, you guys may believe this, you guys may not believe this. However, if you are going to cuss me out or Uber out, first take a look at only active hour. This is utilized hour, active hour only. I'm not sure how it would look on online hour, right? But according to them, on active hour, driver earnings are up 43% from 2019.
Well, yeah, if you're changing that to active hour versus like total hour, yeah, it's definitely skewed in one favor. So
yeah, it'll look very different. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But,
so I mean, man, hey, my hat's off, Dara. Good job. I mean, what else is there to say? That's it.
Yep. So I mean, overall, yeah, the stock is doing well because the earnings report came out very well. More people are using the service than ever before, pretty much. And yeah, it's very interesting to see exactly what's going to end up happening over the next couple of months.
Yeah,
next couple of quarters, especially.
Yeah.
And this again is where quarter 4. So 3 months ago when we were doing these reports talking about the Uber report the week prior and then the Lyft report the week after, there was a big divergence between the two. Before that, it was pretty much the same, but now you're seeing two different roads coming. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Lyft ends up going this route because what's going to happen in their arena. And then, you got to remember that's before Risher came in. Now that Risher's in, what is it going to look like? What are the changes that are going to be happening? And, over the next couple of quarters, it's going to be pretty interesting to see on their side of things too.
I asked him that question. He goes, "We haven't seen any competition yet." He laughed at it literally. Like, okay. I mean, I'm like, what is there? I mean, this is a well-oiled machine, man. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, again, I'm not an Uber lover boy. So monthly active users still went up to 132 million from 131 million. So they're still getting new customers in. Okay. And they were very proud, including tips. Okay, people? So don't complain. Including tips. $13.7 billion went into the earners' pockets in this quarter. With the B, total, like outlay to drivers, including incentives, bonuses, whatever, right? Including tips. So the company said we're proud that we can supply a livelihood to a lot of people, and 13.7 billion. So think about this: 30 billion was their gross order value, meaning whatever they collected, right? Out of that, 13.7 billion went out the door to the drivers, right? And if you calculate, which we did, 33,000 employees times $80,000 average, top executives, stock options, all this stuff. That's why they're still not making money, because they have a lot of expenses. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but almost 14 billion went into the economy, Chris, into people's pockets so they can spend and make a light living. Okay. I mean, that's the good part of the gig economy. There are good parts, there are bad parts. $14 billion is a lot of money, bro.
Yeah.
So like,
and I think the other thing that made people excited too, and this will be the last thing I say about their earnings, is the talk of, if things continue down the route that they're taking, meaning they're making more, there's bookings are up, all of that stuff, if that trend continues, in the next couple of quarters, they may be looking at stock buyback, which means that will be less stock out in the wild for people to buy, which will help raise the price, hopefully. And then also the other side is the possibility of dividends going back into shareholders as well. So I think on a shareholder perspective, people are going to be excited for that aspect, because, if you're a company, that means they're looking for profit at this point. They're not going beyond and saying, "Oh, we're going to do profitability," but actual profitability. So, yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, just for the fact that, this company, I don't think will issue a dividend. That a tech company, most tech companies don't. But buyback, I'm not sure. You guys, may not know this, but Uber owes, like, they have long-term debt that's coming due in 2025 to 2030. Close to $10 billion, right? So when they borrowed that money, rates were at 0%. Now corporate bonds are 6, 7, 8%. So they have to roll that over because they're not making enough money yet to pay off that debt, just like your credit card debt. So that $10 billion between 2025 and 2030 has to get refinanced somehow. And if the rates stay where they are, the cost of refinancing all that debt is going to go through the roof. So I'm not sure they'll do buybacks. But look, man, hats off. Good quarter. Actually, 3 good quarters in a row now. I mean, I'm telling you this. Yep. Okay? Like, let's call it the way we see it. 3 good quarters in a row. So, Dara, now, like, maybe, just come on, man. Come on, let's do it. Let's get together. Let's have a drink.
Yeah, we invite you onto the show, and we'll sit back. We'll have a good time. We'll hang out. We might ask a couple of drilling questions, but we'll take it easy on you.
Yeah, man.
But right, I mean, so all in all, yeah. When it comes to it, that was a good quarter for Uber. Congratulations to them. Yep. Honestly, we do want them to do well, because if that means they're doing well. And that means bookings are up. That means more deliveries. That means more bookings for rideshare. And that means you're out there being able to make more money.
Look who's here. Look who's here. Look who's here. Miral is here. Yeah, Sergio and Chris, Whiskey with Dara. I like it, Miral.
That would be awesome. That would be the name of the title, too. Yeah. Whiskey with Dara.
I'm not holding my breath, Miral, because I'm still waiting for our anniversary bottle of Yamazaki $300 a bottle whiskey that Harry promised. But, I'm still waiting on that one. So, like, yeah, I'm saying. So, anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on. But first, again, if you have not been entered into our giveaway, you can win $25 right here. If you enter hashtag STMC, you will be entered. We're going to do that in just a few minutes. We're going to do another topic or two before we actually give that away. So you got plenty of chance and plenty of time, especially for people who are coming in. Hashtag SMTMC. We got 49 entries, 144 people watching. I don't know. 100 people don't want money. I don't get that. But either way, enter it in the live chat. And
I don't know why only 145 people are watching. We should be like 1,000 people by now. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry. I love the audience that we have. So either way,
spread the word.
No, I'm not sitting in my gear shifter. This is lovely green screen. This is actually taken from my dash camera. So it was just a screenshot that I took from the dash cam. For anybody who's wondering, I could position myself over though, so that would be funny. But one of the things I think we talked about Uber enough. Let's talk about Lyft, because Lyft is making some changes, and they are definitely looking at the driver, and they're looking at trying to help the driver. And you know what? I truly hope that they do. And some of the things that they're doing. Huh?
I saw this. I was shocked. I was like,
yeah. So
what?
before I actually go into that, chat. What is the number one thing that you do not like about Lyft? The number one thing, and don't put pay. We all know the pay aspect, but when it comes to Lyft as the platform, what is the number one thing that annoys you being on the Lyft platform when you're
you're driving? Here, we'll give you a hint. While you're driving,
yeah, while you're driving.
So while you're driving.
We'll give them a couple of quick minutes to put in the chat.
Well,
somebody says the pink logo. Somebody says upfront pricing screen. Rides. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Megan Perrone, you got it. Ride switches right there.
Let's switcheroo.
Yep, the switcheroo. Well, we may have good news for you. Now, I'm not downplaying. I'm not downplaying if you don't like navigation, if you don't like the upfront screen.
That's
if you
all crap anyway.
I get that. Look, that's. I'm going to say, hey, if you like that, or I mean, if that's the one thing that annoys you, I get it. For me, and I know a lot of drivers, it is definitely the switcheroo. In fact, when I accept a ride on Uber, it's much different than when I accept a ride on Lyft. My Uber acceptance threshold is much higher, meaning like the passenger can be further away, different things there. But when it comes to the Lyft side of things, I'm looking like they got to be right down the street pretty much for me, because I don't want that goddamn switcheroo.
So yeah, I got this from a driver, which look, again, you know what, people? I mean, seriously, you guys are amazing. My eyes and ears around the country from every city, state, man, I appreciate it. You guys know I get back to you within 48 hours because now the emails are getting like really, really like overwhelming. But I read everyone and I respond. Whatever I need to do, I do. That's not the point. So I got this one. I looked at it. I glanced at it, to be honest with you. I was like, what is this? This is like the, in LA, I was driving, and then now when they're stacking you, right? Before they would just put it in the background, you wouldn't even know, but now there's like a little tiny little window on the bottom that it comes in. You have actually like 15 seconds to either accept it or not before it goes into your queue. I thought it was that.
Mhm.
Then I emailed the guy back saying that this is not the switcheroo. I go, this is like what they do, when they put it in before they put it in your queue. He goes, no, Serge, take a look at it closely. So, Chris, you need to take that Wing 25 out so they can see. I don't know if they can see or not.
What
But
now?
that box.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, that box is super important. Okay,
right there. Look at that.
Now,
it says,
yes. Now this shows up as a huge screen like this. And he said, notice that I'm on my way to pick up a passenger. Do you see the navigation thing on the back? He goes, in the old days, they would have just switched me to this person, period, automatically. I wouldn't even know, right? And this is not a great ride, but it's not a bad ride. But then he could have been picking up somebody, taken to the airport maybe for $40. By the way, this is from Ohio. I forgot what city he was in.
Columbus.
I'm not sure. But anyway, he's Ohio, right? So here's the deal. They will show you this. Look at all this information on it. So this is the new upfront fare that you're going to be switched to if you like it. How far it is, Columbus, Ohio. There you go. How far it is, the destination, and it says star rating. It goes, this is a higher rated rider that you could be accepting if you don't want the one you're on your way to, and it gives you a choice. You have to click that button to switch to the new ride because the one you're on, maybe you really like as far as dollars per mile or whatever per hour.
Yeah, where it's going.
Look at all this. This is unbelievable. Lyft.
I like this. I love
Holy
this.
Shit. I love you, Mr. Richard.
You know what? At this point, I will say, throw me the switcheroo, because then I can make more informed decisions. Say, hey, look, this ride's better than the other ride that I was accepting, and I'm going to take this ride. Maybe it's shorter. This one, it's 534, and you're going almost just under 3 miles for the entire trip.
Almost 8 minutes, $5, but it's like almost $1.70 a mile, right?
Yeah,
and it's giving you all the information. It's giving you all that info, and I'm like,
the only thing, I don't have this in my market. I tested it. I texted Joe, or I emailed Joe to see if he had it in his. He doesn't yet. So it's not available at a lot of places, but hopefully this rolls out. So Team Lyft, you know what? Congrats. Good job here. I like this. Just make sure it rolls out to everybody, and make sure it rolls out very soon. But either way, when it comes to this, I like this because it's good. Now, the only thing, though, that I want to know, if you let it run out, because obviously it's going to only sit there for a little bit of time. If it runs out, will it automatically switch you? Or will it just kind of not do anything, meaning you'll stay on the current ride that you'll have?
No, it's not, because you have to click that button to switch to the new ride. See that where that big old purple little thing? I asked that to the guy. He goes, it doesn't switch you automatically. Okay. It's giving you a choice to switch. And if you don't want it to switch, you click the X button, he goes, right? And it disappears. And if you want to switch, you have to do that whole oval purple thing on the bottom where it says switch to the new ride. That's it. Other than that, it's giving you all the choices. And otherwise, it's going to disappear just like a ping after 15 seconds. You're not being switched, period.
Lyft. Yeah. Hey, I got to applaud for that. Again, now just roll this out to everybody, and I'll be much happier.
Ohio, thank you for whoever sent this. But the other thing is, the thing is, I wonder if this is Richard's doing, or the two boys were already working on this, and then he just kind of released it. It's probably the two boys doing it, probably. So
honestly, I don't know, but I like it, and I'm glad to see that is finally being addressed. Especially
who's gonna love this, right? Joe is gonna love this.
Well, I already emailed him. I said, hey, do you have this in your market yet? And he's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then he emailed me back 20 minutes later or something, he's like, damn it, I don't have it yet. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's surely going to be a welcome thing.
Amazing.
Especially
Amazing.
just having that information now, because the whole thing with upfront earnings, and I agree with Joe when he made that video.
Great
Having the
video,
upfront
too.
earnings,
Yeah.
you accepted that particular ride, knowing that information, the pickup, drop off, how much you're going to make, and that's your decision you want to make, not to be rerouted to somewhere else
That's a
and
contract.
not
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
Well, that's a
so
contract. It's a mini contract, right? You're breaking your
Yep.
contract to switch me to some other contract, but I don't even know what the details are, right? So I'm like,
Yep.
no, Joe, that video was great, or Joe's video, but I hope this gets released, Mr. Vischer, ASAP nationwide.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, but we gave them enough time to say, hey, you did good, but what happens when it's not so good? First, well, you're not going to be too happy.
No. So
this is a
Yeah,
Lyft support message from a driver who is in Georgia, and they're talking about what happens when you go a little bit too long on your rides and want some sort of reimbursement, because they gave you the upfront fare price, and they're not too happy that they have to continually readjust this.
they're not.
So do you want me to read this, or?
Yeah, you go ahead. Will you read this
Okay.
one? Let me cough a little
So
bit.
this is a driver that reached out to us talking about this, and he said, I was sent this note last. I drive in the Savannah, Georgia area. I do mostly airport trips. Most rides are going downtown. There are 2 to 3 ways to get to the downtown area. The fastest way to the downtown area is that I have to pass through 4 very active train tracks. If you have to stop, it could cost you anywhere between 5 and 30 minutes. And I agree with that. I got train tracks not too far from me, and if you get stuck behind those, and there's 4 tracks, 4 separate lines, so you could have one train coming, and then all of a sudden another train will be coming, and a third train will be coming, and they're long trains. You could be sitting there for 10 minutes or so, or sometimes longer. So yeah, those trains can really mess with you.
Yeah.
The longest way is going the interstate, which goes over the tracks. And I believe Lyft knows this, but still continues to route us on the roads with the tracks. You know what? I'm not going to let them have the benefit of the doubt here. They probably don't know. In all honesty, they're using an algorithm that's based usually probably on Google Maps. They're not going to know that necessarily unless somebody was able to reprogram that within Lyft itself to say, hey, take the interstate over the rail tracks. So that I'm going to say they probably just don't know. You know your area, but Lyft, they don't. And then he goes, I accept the ride, and the upfront fare showed 27. I took the interstate, which bumped it up to 31. I don't care what they say, see below, which is the email. I will continue to use the interstate or whatever route is quicker. Hashtag know your worth. So the email that they sent was, hi to the driver, Lyft caps per ride earnings when too many of your rides excessively go over the estimated distance and time. To avoid this, we recommend following the suggested route and ending rides as soon as you drop off your passengers. Have to help if you have any questions or need support. So in other words, you have multiple ways to get there. And yeah, you could get there faster, you could get there quicker, or I mean shorter. Which one is the better route? Now, if you don't hit trains, hey, that's great. But if you do hit trains, yeah, they can be a real pain depending on where you are. And it just depends. And it's called knowing your area. Now, you could potentially email them and say, hey, look, the interstate is much faster. There's trains here. See if they can do something about, trying to recode their maps. Because again, like I say, they're not going to know that. They're just going off the Google software or whatever app software that they're actually pulling that data from for the particular navigation. So they don't know your area at all. And
one thing I know this for a fact, and I've tested this even before the RSG days. Okay. When Upfront came, okay, the algorithm, even with miles and minutes, it's programmed in a way that when the passenger orders the trip, they send the passenger the longest possible route price and the longest time possible price in LA anyway. And you guys can test this in your own cities.
Yep.
Then the algorithm, when it's sending it to the driver, it sends the shortest possible route. So what did we do in the old days? We long miled the crap out of that trip because the adjustment was there. We played the game, right? Especially on the days of the multiplier. Well, with upfront, the upfront system is always going to probably send this guy the shortest route, but through the train tracks, which could add 5 to 30 minutes if you get stuck one time. So he's doing the right thing. He's going the longer route. And the Lyft system is detecting that this guy is intentionally extending the trip because that $4 adjustment that they gave, they already sent the passenger on the upfront fare the longest possible route anyway. They sent the guy this fare. So, Lyft is not happy, probably. But that game is always been played. Longest possible route to the passenger and shortest possible route to the driver. That's called arbitrage. That's more, bullshit games that they play, but nobody talked about.
Well, I mean, I get part on their end where it's like if it's too excessive, that could be somebody who's potentially trying to abuse the system. I get that. But when you actually have like a legitimate reason on why you should be taking one route over the other, that's just being smart. That's driving smarter, because you don't want to sit there for a train, whether that is the 5 minutes, whether it's a half hour, whatever it is. You don't want to be sitting there because that just means you're not getting paid for that. And then on the other side, if you were getting paid at 30 minutes because you got stuck there, well, then they're probably going to throw up a fit because they're like, what's going on here? Why are you taking so long to get to your route? And you'll probably get some sort of in-app notification. Hey, is everything okay?
That'll be the, are you okay?
It's like, come on. But I mean, honestly, if it's something like that and you notice that, you could try sending, a support message to get that updated, where the route will actually take you that way. And you can potentially do that. I've done that before with something within Buffalo. I can't remember what it was. It was some detour that was going on, and they had the roads shut down, but Lyft didn't know that, or Uber didn't. One of them, I don't remember. And I emailed support, let them know that the roads were closed, and sure as shit, within like 24 hours or something, it showed it on the map and it was reflected. So there is a possibility that you can change it. This was a few years ago when that happened, so I don't know if that's going to be still the same case today, but you could potentially try to do that and get your case made on that.
So to my Armenian brother, Caro, thank you. I forgot. Are you in LA, bro? We got to meet for lunch one of these days. Lunch on me. So are you in LA? I'm not sure. Say yes or no. And my favorite Chicago, one of my I have so many favorite Chicago drivers, but Joe has become one of my freaking amazing Chicago drivers, who's supplying me some amazing ammunition, people. Joe, by the way, Joe, buddy, it's lowercase SMTMC. Not, he's in LA. Okay, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, so we can at least have coffee, meet, breakfast, whatever, and we shoot the shit. I'm in Tahanga. Man, you're like only 10 miles away from me. We're definitely going to lunch. Let's go to Rafi's Kebab. How about that? Okay.
All right. Well, Biff, one other side of the coin, though, is, we had a good story from Lyft. We had a bad story from Lyft. Now we have a different kind of story from Lyft. That is, 7-day bonus protection.
I don't know what this is. I was sent. I'm sure it's legit. But now I have to do. So this is about, bonus is the surge, Lyft surge. Okay, let's call it surge with bonus surge. So let's say you did surge trips for $80. Okay. But before you would just get the $80. But this one now, you still get the $80 if you did it. But now they're adding an extra layer, but of course with a catch, meaning, you do this, I give you that. The typical, two-way highway. It's never one way. So let's say you had for the week, they're giving you like a bonus guarantee now, right? If you in this driver's case, it says complete 40 rides, give at least 40 rides by 5 a.m. or 4:17. So okay, we get that. If your bonus earnings from 4:10 to 4:17 are below $80, you will get paid the difference. I'm going like, that would have been nice if there was no 40 trips involved in there. But now, if you're like me, cherry picking, you're mostly doing bonus trips anyway. So I don't think this will play a role in my life. But for people who are into diamond and but yeah, diamond is the highest in Lyft, right? So diamond and whatever level you guys want to be, this may make it actually this may not be a bad thing. I mean, you just have to do 40 trips. If you that week, let's say your city was not bleeding or there were not enough bonuses, and if you only made $65 in bonuses, they're going to give you an extra 15 because you did the 40 trips. So this is also not a bad idea either, Chris. I see this driver put 7 out of 40, so he or she was on his 7th probably. So I'm going like, this is another decent idea. This is not, I mean, this nothing like the switcheroo idea, but this is still a good idea. I mean, it's a driver-friendly idea. I don't think it's that bad. So I'm like, there you go.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's fantastic to see these types of things, especially if it's like, oh, you didn't make that, so we're gonna help you get there. So then
Because to get the platinum, you gotta do a shit ton of rides anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, that demand was low maybe that week in your city, and you only came up with $40 in bonuses, but they're gonna give you the extra 40. I'm like, hey, that's another buck a ride. I'm like, oh, nothing wrong with that. Two good things left. I don't know. We're going places now. There we go.
Well, like I said, it's gonna be interesting over the next couple of months to see exactly what happens, and see if it's actually going to be something that could sway potential drivers to go from Uber over to the Lyft platform, or favor Lyft if they're getting the rides that are coming in, or at least prefer to go on the Lyft platform over Uber. So hey, whatever happens over the next few months, I think it's going to be a little good for the driver. If Lyft starts doing things, Uber is going to have to look at it and say, hey, we might be losing drivers. They had the million driver difference or something. So yeah, that could be potentially a good news for some drivers out there.
Their earnings are coming out on the 5th. So
so we'll have Lyft earnings next week, but but we want to move on to a little fun award that we want to do, and that is the Show Me the Extra Mile Award. We are going to announce our winner for April. Congratulations to this driver. We're going to be talking about that in just a moment. But it's May, so we have a whole new month for you to send your above and beyond stories to come in, and you might be able to win some money, an extra $100 for going above and beyond during the time that somebody may need it. So make sure to send your stories. Obviously, May just started, but make sure you send your stories when you go above and beyond with your potential riders or whatever happened. I mean, food delivery, if something happened crazy there, could potentially as well too. But yeah, send it to Sergio at therideshareguy.com and get your stories in for May for what had happened. And you could potentially be the winner.
Yeah. So this month's winner, selected by Jeff, the Sunshine Man, is John H. Okay, we're not gonna give you guys the last name. He's from Kentucky. I read the story like 5 times, and he put a dash cam video. Are we gonna show the video? We're not gonna show that, right?
Yeah, we'll show the video.
Okay. So and this is Jeff's.
We're just gonna need, you'll just have to give a quick kind of story of what had happened.
I'm gonna do an article on this, and I'm gonna do an interview for our Behind the Wheel series with John, and he agreed to it. So thank you, John. I don't know if you're here or not, but I already emailed him, announced that he, notified him that he's the winner of the $100 and Show Me the Money Extra Mile Sunshine Award for April. Please send me in, like Chris said, the May ones already. So this is our Jeff Sunshine Man's, who's not here today, I think. Congratulatory email to John. Sometimes a driver is put in a difficult and dangerous situation. This rideshare driver, a former Marine from Kentucky, came through and helped a woman in possibly a life-threatening moment. He's very deserving winner of the second going, the Extra Mile Sunshine Award. Although he refused any extra payment when the incident took place, it's a pleasure to award John H. a $100 gift certificate for his heroic efforts. I'm going to keep it short. Oh, you're here, Jeff. How are you, buddy? So this gentleman accepted a trip from a concert, let's say, or a festival, music festival, to a hotel. So the passenger who ordered the trip was not the actual. There were two couples. Two couples get in the car. The one female gets in the front seat, and two guys and a female get in the back seat. We're not going to give any names, obviously, but let's call the person who's sitting in the front seat female A, okay? And let's call the person who's sitting directly behind John male B. All right. So what happened is that as soon as they got in the car, female A and B, who are a couple, started getting into an argument, and the trip was ordered by the friend, by the other couple. So this was not the person that ordered the trip, the ones arguing. And the male B sitting behind John started berating the woman in the front seat and his wife, I'm assuming, or girlfriend or fiance, whatever. And pretty soon it got pretty ugly. And John turned to the woman and said, he wrote me a letter. He says, "Are you okay?" to the woman, because the woman started getting emotional and upset, obviously, because this gentleman, the a-hole in the back, the husband, let's call him the husband, calling her names and all kinds of stuff, derogatory stuff. And then, the wife had enough at this point. Told John, the driver, "What do you think?" And then turned back to the husband and said that, well, you weren't saying these things when you were choking me yesterday, and showed John the marks on her neck from the day before. So stuff is getting really heated now. John is a big guy. You guys will see in the video. Long story short, they go to their destination. The other couple that ordered the trip is trying to de-escalate, but this guy is back here out of control. Like he's an abuser, obviously. And obviously he's done this to this poor woman many times. And now John's Marine instincts are coming up and says to the woman, "Do not get out of the car once I drop everybody off." Okay. And the guy goes apeshit in the back seat. But I'm sure John can take care of himself. By the way, Kentucky is a concealed carry state. That's not the point. The other couple that ordered the trip gets out of the car, and the guy is not willing to get out of the car. So John says, "Please leave." And then he starts yelling at the wife, saying, all the names, "You're getting out of the car, you're coming with me." And the wife is refusing to come out. And John keeps reiterating to the woman, saying, "Please don't get out of the car. Stay with me in the car." And the guy's not getting out. John says, "I'm about to call 911. If you don't get out, you're going to get arrested. So leave my car because it's my private property." The guy tries to get out of the car, puts his foot in. John floors it. Goes about a block and a half. The woman is crying, obviously. Asks the woman, "What can I do for you? Where can I take you?" And the woman goes, "My mother's house is actually 40 miles away." And John, what does John do? John takes this woman, ends the trip, obviously, and this is 3:30 in the morning, people. And this was his last trip. He didn't, he accepted the trip as the last trip. And he took this woman to her mom's house 40 miles away without getting paid, didn't charge her anything. And on the way, the woman had everything recorded on her phone in a file in case this guy killed her. Okay. And she played him, a couple of the excerpts of their violent history. And this was what John sent me as far as dash cam. And you guys can hear it, how this guy is actually absolutely just abusing this woman. But John, man, what can we say? I mean, I congratulations, well deserved, potentially save a life, and abuse is never okay, ever, never. So if you guys run into these kind of situations, try to help your passenger, try to take him to a safe place. But John went above an extra mile, and he took her 40 miles away and then had to drive back 40 miles. But that's why he's our Sunshine Award winner. And there you go. That's the story. Please come back to the channel. I'm going to have an interview with John one-on-one, and I'm going to do an article with all the screenshots in it. Please go read that as well. Thumbs up, John. Love you, man. Great job.
Yeah, it was a very interesting story, especially after reading it. So yeah, definitely good job, John, there when it comes down to putting your foot down and saying, "Look, sticking to that no matter what," because things were getting a little physical when it came to the interaction when he was trying to get out of the car and get her out.
Yeah.
So he helped. He stepped in, made sure she got out safe. So that is good there, and a very unfortunate thing what led up to it. But good job, John. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So did you want to play the video then?
No,
on
I don't
that?
think we should. I'll just put it on the
Okay.
YouTube part, and we'll just, John, if you're here, I'm not sure if you're here, but I'm gonna reach out to you this week, and we'll do the video this week, and Chris will put it up. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I'd rather wait to play that video too, just to censor her out.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because I want to remove her identity.
Yeah, completely.
Just
Yeah.
because in the event something happens,
Yeah.
we want to make sure her privacy is kept at the utmost, especially when it comes down to that. But congratulations, John, on that. Awesome work. Can't go wrong when you're stepping in and helping people. So again, congratulations. But for those who are waiting, and I just saw a hashtag SMTMC, so congratulations there. We got 68 entries right now, so
There we go.
you may be able to get it. Give me 1 second so I can share the screen, and you can see what is coming on from that.
Let me write this down, baby. No, I got the hang of it now, Chris.
All right.
All right. There we go. Winner,
and
chicken
we
dinner.
are going. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Who is our $25 winner? Timothy B. Congratulations.
Timothy B. Timothy B, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, so I'm the winner. And you will get your gift certificate in a couple days. Timothy B. That's your YouTube name. I don't know what your email is. I'm sure he has emailed me before, but if not, congratulations. There we go.
All right. So with that out of the way, we are going to do one more when it comes down to our $25 giveaway. And that will be, hold on 1 second so I can get it set up.
Professor, come on. You don't need the money. You're swimming in cash, Professor. Come on now.
Not that professor. Money.
This professor who bugs me constantly on Twitter. This guy right here. Defenestrator. He's like always like, go play golf, man. I'm kidding, man. Okay, next one. Money? Okay, money.
Hashtag money. Show me that money. So we are going to do the drawing close to the end. So we're going to keep you sticking around to see if you won or not. So, haha. But no, we got some good, we still got more good show for you. But yes, let's talk, the biggest thing now is safety. And that is something that is the utmost because we want to make sure everybody gets home to their family, their loved ones, friends, whatever it might be, wherever you are in life. We want to make sure people get home. And, there's been some pretty bad stories over the last couple of weeks. Actually last several months, but some very, very bad ones over the last couple of weeks, especially with what happened in Florida, which we're going to be talking about in its own segment. But one of the things that we want to talk about is when you have the ability to try to use something like the button on 911 on Uber to try to get emergency services, but does it work as it's supposed to? So that's what we're going to be talking about right now, where a driver had recently posted to us talking about their story about having to use that 911 button and kind of how it didn't work as they expected. So let's get right into that now.
Yeah. So I get these emails all the time. Some we put up, some we don't. Obviously, with his permission, this driver in North Carolina. Look, we have the 911. Okay, if you ask Uber says we have all the safety tools in the app necessary. To a point, I agree. Now they have video capability, audio encrypted capability, 911 button, follow me on my ride, all the stuff, which are good additional things in the app for the driver's safety. However, you are ultimately on your own. You don't even want to test these buttons, okay? Really, you really don't. If you're at that point, just get out of Dodge. Pull up in a gas station, take off. Take your phone, take your keys if you can, and run, period. Other than that, it's up to God. So this gentleman at 11:57 picked up a trip. This is my first time reaching out to you guys, but I know there has been a lot of talk about safety lately. Agreed. What I'm sharing with you happened last night, 4/17/23 at 11:57 p.m. I live and work in Raleigh, North Carolina area. Last night, as I often do, I work primarily in the airport area, with most of my rides being transporting riders to and from the airport. As I dropped off my last passenger from the airport, I took a ride that I would not typically accept because the drop off was on my way home and I was quitting for the night. My pickup was at a Ramada Inn in a decent area of Raleigh. All right. I pulled up and a couple came out carrying suitcases and bags. By the way, this was also an entry on our Show Me the Extra Mile Sunshine Award, but it's kind of similar story, but John got it. I opened the back gate and the girl puts her suitcase and backpack into my car. She turns to the guy and says, "Give me my bag." He was carrying a large duffel bag. He immediately looks at her and says, "No." And the argument begins. It ends with them scuffling for a minute and him giving her the bag. She gets in my car and says, "Please, can we get out of here? He's never laying his hands on me again. So these wife beaters, if I do ever find you, I will, smack you where you don't belong. So stop abusing women, man. What the whatever. I mean, pick on somebody your own size. How about that? Huh? There you go. So anyway, he's never laying his hands on me again. As I begin to pull away, he steps in front of my car and will not move. Well, aren't you glad that was not an autonomous car? Because that thing would never move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I back up and he runs around behind the car. I pull forward and he runs back in front of my car. Look at this driver dealing with this shit, man. I press the 911 button available to us in the Uber app and tell them what is happening. They inform me that they have dispatched a unit, and as soon as he realizes I have called 911, moves from in front of my car, and I pull away while still on the phone with 911, letting them know that I'm leaving because I feel like I need to get this girl away from the area. I took her to the bus station where she was getting on a bus to go home to her mother's house in another city. That was a lot to get to my point. Approximately 42 minutes after calling 911 through the Uber app, I received a call from Uber. Well, by then, it's done. It's finished. It was a robot calling, informing that they were aware I had called 911 and wanted to know if I was safe. It told me that if I needed to talk to a rep, to press 0, so I did. I was on hold for a few seconds and then was disconnected. Nobody called back, and 52 minutes following the 911 call, I received a message in the app telling me that they want to make sure that I'm safe. Well, if this was really bad stuff going down, he'd be dead. And that if I feel unsafe, to please reply to this message, so I did. 5 hours later, I received a message from Uber Priority Support telling me how serious they take these things, and that they were sorry my rider did not maintain appropriate standards, and they made a note to be sure I was on match with this rider again. I'm going like, if this is what Daryl's Chat GPT AI support is going to look like, we're in trouble. If it was my rider that was in danger, she told me he had beaten her badly the previous weekend, and she was at the motel following that. He had tracked her there through her phone. It is unacceptable that Uber support in these situations is a robot call and a text message. I also have dash cam footage that I haven't isolated and edited as of yet. I apologize for the long message, but my frustration is off the charts with Uber right now. Thankfully, the girl's on her way home to her mother's house. She told me she had not seen her mother in over a year because this guy would not let her. Well, so this is one case. I'm not going to make one case the norm, put a blanket, blame game. Now, if 911 is working like this in one case, in how many other cases out of those 2 billion trips, it worked like this? Unacceptable. Again, though, we always say, you're out there on your own. All the buttons, all the bells, all the whistles are meaningless. Do not depend on them unless, I mean, last choice. Maybe you have to, right? But
Yep.
ultimately, head your head on a swivel. Before you pick up, don't unlock your doors. All these things we said millions and millions and millions of times. Safety starts with you as the driver, period. We can play the blame game. I mean, a lot of channels play the blame game, but I'm like, yeah, in this case, 42 minutes, 52 minutes, 5 hours later, unacceptable.
Yep.
That part is
And you know
unacceptable.
what? And you know what? This is the cases that are going to happen continuously that are not accounted for, because when you dial 911 and it goes through the app is automatically going to assume, okay, there's a problem with the rider or the account holder if it's coming from the driver's phone. And so they're not accounting for the situation of what actually had happened, especially if they're using these robo uh, answering services or text messages or whatever it might be, in order for that to happen. So it's like, yeah, you can't really have that. You got to put a little bit more into it, or at least, try to figure out what's going on. Um, I don't know if it's something where they're listening on and having a record of the 911 call within the system itself,
Yeah.
because you're going through the app. So it's something where they can be potentially locked into as well too. And then that way, they can kind of transcribe that phone call and see exactly what's going on, and then send it to the right people. That's all technology that could be implemented as well too. So you can't just rely on one thing and then say, oh, well, we want you to be safe, and it wasn't even relevant to the story of what had happened. So still crazy nonetheless. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water out there, but holy
I
shit.
agree with the fenestrator here. He goes, your car is your best weapon. I agree. It's a 2-ton weapon. Just run the goddamn guy over. I mean, screw that guy.
Yep.
Because you don't know if he's going to pull a weapon on you or a gun on you. Or, every next time he gets in front of your car, I'm like, hey man, let's move on. But this was another story, but we picked Jeff's story because I think it was a little bit more involved. But again, thank you for this driver to do what he did, taking her to safety from an abuser. And all these drivers are the unsung heroes of the rideshare world, right? Look, there's shit to be fixed, and we're trying to fix it. Trust me, people. We're working hard on the background. We're trying to fix shit. But these types of things make rideshare irrelevant, really, money irrelevant, right? You're saving a human life, because if this guy was an a-hole driver and left her there and took off, he may have beat her to death. Who knows? I mean, all I'm saying is Uber and Lyft, you guys should consider yourselves lucky to have Johns and this driver and all Jeffs and Nathaniels on your systems, man, because to me, this is what it's all about, right? And yeah, we all want to make money. Yeah, but and we're going to talk about this next segment probably. And money versus life. I mean, I don't know. I take life any day, bro. So, but anyway,
for sure.
Yeah. So thank you to this driver again. Not surprised by John. He's a serviceman.
Either way, though, the one thing though too is you got the dash cam footage. Hopefully, it's recording audio as well. So yeah, if anything happens and you have to run him over, you got that footage right there saying, "Hey, look, this is what's going on. We had to get out of the situation. I don't know what was happening." And he was blocking us in. We tried calling 911, but in the time being, seconds can count. And if seconds count, I need to get out of there. I need her to get out of there to be safe. And if I ran him over, well, back it up and make sure the job is okay. Don't do that. I mean, try to use your heads there, because I don't want to be liable for your for anything that happens. I'm not liable. Use your head. But yeah, so either way, beyond that, let's talk about a little bit more safety. And that is what had happened in Florida with the Uber Eats driver. I'm sure everybody already knows what had happened, so we're not going to go too far into the story, but quite crazy what happened.
Honestly, I get emotional when I read these things, because this is inhuman. I mean, I don't know what this world is coming to, but this is inhuman. Okay, I don't give a and then I cuss people, say you cuss, Serge. I go like, okay. A human life to a lot of people is worth a lot. To this asshole MS-13 gang member, I guess it was not. So this was an Uber Eats driver who was delivering a food order to this guy in Florida. And he was not the guy that ordered it. By the way, this gentleman had come out of jail early after charge of assault with a deadly weapon from Indiana. Somehow they let him out early, 4 years. And he was able to travel. I'm sure, I don't know if he violated his parole or not, but these assholes don't care about that anyway. So he moved to his dad's house in Florida. And his dad was the one that had actually ordered the food. And this gentleman, 59-year-old, wonderful man, delivered the food. And Randall Cook. And, he texted his wife, "This is my last trip. I'm going to see you, honey. Love you, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, okay. So this asshole in the middle with the tattoos covering his face, takes the guy in, obviously. And, I'm not going to get into the gory details anyway, but kills the guy. Then cuts him to pieces in trash bags. His car was found 3 miles away, Randall Cook's car. And, there is a beautiful man, life ruined, family's life ruined. All for what? For someone, what? I don't even know what. I mean, I'm speechless. Seriously. The more of these things I see every time, I get numb to them, because I go like, there's one every day now. Because there were like 5 this week, literally like 5 or 6 last week. And I'm like, who does this? What kind of human? I'm not sure if this asshole is a human, but who does this, right? And now, we don't do this. We did it with the veteran that was killed in California a couple weeks, 3 weeks ago, by 2 assholes who pulled him in a 7-Eleven Uber trip and killed him. So we put up his GoFundMe page. So, with all respect to his family, we're putting up Randall Cook's GoFundMe page. Please don't ask me for the link, because if you Google this guy, say GoFundMe page for Randall Cook, you can find it easily. I'm sorry for his family. Condolences. They said he was a loving man, and I'm sure he was, and he was just doing a delivery probably for $6, $5, $8, whatever. Okay. And another beautiful life is taken. And I am getting really, Chris, we need to do shit about this. Okay. I don't know what we can do more than talk about it, but I'm telling you, I don't know if we have like 200 people watching here, and all 200 are in different cities. Hopefully, maybe not, but in whatever city you're in, you need to contact your legislatures. You need to call their offices. You need to talk about driver safety, because a lot of places still, by the way, don't have upfront destination. Okay. With transparency, full transparency, comes driver safety. I'm not even sure if this guy knew where he was going. I'm not even sure if he would have accepted this order to take it to this. Maybe it was a bad neighborhood. But we're all scared about this terms of service, because Uber says, "Oh, you're declining a lot of trips going into these bad areas." I'm like, well, as an independent contractor, it is my right to decline these trips if I don't feel safe. So you can't play both games, both sides of the road, Uber. You can't tell me I'm an independent contractor and say, on the other hand, threaten me, saying that, "Oh, if you don't take too many trips going into bad neighborhoods, you're going to get deactivated," which we get those messages. Please, if you guys want to help me and Chris, call your legislature. Talk about these issues. There are bills floating in the country in 6, 7, 8 states now. And I'm behind each one that is for driver rights. And yep. I'm in touch with their legislatures, and I'm going to push as hard as I can, and with whatever I have in my power, to stop this, because this is completely unnecessary. And to me, it's like, you get numb to it after a while, Chris. You hear every one a day. Another Uber driver. Oh, another Lyft driver. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is bullshit, man. And you know what? These companies, and I know, Norma, Jeff, you're not going to like this. They hide behind the veil of this independent contractor bullshit that we're under. Okay? Because if I'm an employee of this company, I'm suing your ass from here to kingdom come. My family is. These guys are going to fight Uber. Uber is going to fight this family all the way to the end. The only good thing Uber did in this case, Chris, is that they notified the law enforcement agency immediately, and then they went to the address. Usually, they take their sweet time notifying law enforcement agencies. We talked about that. At least they did that right. That this guy's remains were found in trash bags within hours. So my thing is, because we're ICs, we have no rights. If I was an employee of Uber and I got killed, good luck, Uber. There's a lawsuit coming your way. But this just needs to stop. I mean, shit, man. It's got to end.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is the question comes down to why is it happening? What's the mental state of these people? You know, clearly they're completely screwed up. You know, and it's just a lack of so much when it comes down to, you know, just everything. And that's what it seems like is going on. And it's one of those things. Yeah. As a driver, as a food delivery driver, you know, you got to be very aware of things. As you said just a little bit ago, always head swivel on a stick. You want to be like looking back and forth, paying attention to what's going on. You know, you want to be calculating. You want to be making sure, you know, Clint just gave us a super chat. Appreciate that. But he also said martial arts training is important. And that, yeah, I mean, something like safety, defense classes, whether there's even car defense classes now, because unfortunately this is happening. And Uber and Lyft and rideshare has become so popular. So yeah, they have car defense classes where you could become a defense, you know, martial artist in the car, especially with close quarters and things like that. So you just kind of know what to do. You know, there's other things that you can do to protect yourself. It's just a matter of making sure that you have everything in line. Hopefully you never need it. That's what we hope. That's what we truly hope. And you know, that's the best thing I can you know, try to let you know. I mean, yeah, they have all these tools. We just made a video yesterday that I posted talking about, you know, Uber answering the questions that you had asked us, and one of the questions was about safety, and they have like a ridiculous amount of stuff, which is good. It's good to have all that stuff, and you know, even if they can put more. The problem is what I said in the video. In the moment, if seconds count, if seconds matter, the only thing that's you're going to be able to rely on is yourself. And that is whether it's going to be some sort of defensive classes, martial arts, mixed martial arts, you know, whatever it might be that you need to at least handle yourself, you know, some side protection, you know, whether that's firearm, whatever it might be. Don't let people see that, because again, that's against TOS. But, you know, if more drivers band together and say too bad, so sad, they may have to change that whole side of things anyways. You know, if you contact your legislators and say, look, this is what's happening. We want to feel safe, amend the law to make that happen. You know, things like that could potentially happen. The other side of the coin is, you know, you want to make sure things, you know, what are happening. You know, having dash camera, having something that can live stream or go to the cloud. We talk about Display Ride. Display Ride is an amazing thing, because in the event that something does happen, you have that option to be able to have it go right to the cloud. And then even like live streaming or something, when it comes to having some sort of situation that arises that could go to your emergency contact or 911 or something like that. Yeah. I believe they're working on that, if it's not already rolled out. That's what I heard. So either way, that's a huge thing when it comes to safety. Just having these things in place. Dash cam is always just good to have, because it's always a he said, she said when it comes down to things. Unfortunately, Uber, Lyft, these other companies take the story of the passenger, or at least the story of the person who calls first. And then it's like, try to prove your innocence on the other side. So if you have the dash camera, it's one-sided. It tells its story. It does not have an agenda on who's right and who's wrong. It tells you exactly what happened from start to finish. So having that there, then going with the defensive classes and stuff like that, just knowing what you can handle and knowing where you are. And then, yes, when it comes down to knowing these situations and the places, where are you going, and paying attention to that stuff. But yeah, the other side, I don't know what had happened. I don't know if he went into the house or whatnot. I'm not familiar with that part of the story. But never go inside, never go in a house, never go anywhere that you feel uncomfortable with. Even if you don't feel comfortable going up to the door or something just seems off, put the food down, take a picture, and say, hey, the food's ordered. You know, if you need a PIN code in order to complete it, well, you know, at that point, maybe you want to do something else, you know, get out of Dodge or something. But, you know, always be thinking these different situations, and just try to think about it. Like, what would happen if I found myself in, you know, this situation? Or you hear a news story, what would I do if I found myself in a situation? Because in the moment, you're not going to know what to do. But if you prepare and you plan for it, you'll have a better understanding. So in the event that it may happen, your mind's already in that process. Okay, this is happening. I'm going to do step 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Muscle
Whatever
memory,
it is
right?
that
Yeah, muscle
yeah.
memory. You
And,
got to have the
and
muscle memory in there. You have to have the muscle
yep,
memory in there so you can do whatever you can do to protect yourself, you know?
yep.
And, you know, I
And then
mean, look,
the other side of the coin too is, when I say if there's an emergency when it comes to somebody actually in your car, something's happening, you don't know, and you got to get out of the car. You know, what are you going to do? You got to grab your phone, grab your keys, get out of the car. Practice it. Practice it a bunch of times.
yeah.
You know, once or twice a day. Something it gives you that muscle memory in the event something happens. Because trust me, in the event of something actually unfolding at that moment, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to be all up crazy thinking, not focused, not knowing. The easiest thing, you know, prepare for something. Hopefully you never need it, but in the event that you do, then at least you'll you know, have some sort of plan of action. You'll have some sort of, you know, focus where you'll be able to take yourself and hopefully get out of that situation, and, you know, hopefully live another day.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Randall Cook, rest in peace. You know, it wouldn't be surprising that, you know, you hear more of these stories, and, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, shout out actually to our crew, money hungry crew, Kim and Zach. They had a post last week. You know, this poor guy got in a massive crash. He totaled his car on the way to the delivery. The paramedic, and he was on a DoorDash delivery. You heard about that, right? When they were talking about it last week, the ambulance comes, takes the guy to the hospital. The guy calls his wife because I totaled the car, and then the wife shows up. Guess who's calling the wife? Well, the guy's phone. DoorDash. DoorDash asked the wife to finish the delivery. The guy totaled the car. He's in the hospital.
Wow. No, like, you know what? I remember, I recall them talking about that, but I didn't know which one you were talking about at first.
You know,
but Jesus Christ, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and I don't know if it's like some support person just doesn't realize what the hell's going on, or they switch it between people, and it's like you just don't know or what. But like, damn.
What part of total my car do you not understand? I'm in the hospital, or do you not understand? I mean, you know, even if you're a chat bot, you would understand that. But anyway, so
yeah,
you know, have a dash cam, man. You know, I'm telling you, I was not a huge proponent of these things. I'm just like 1,000,000% proponent of dash cam delivery, or because if you're doing delivery, you get in a crash, you have no coverage, people. You figured that out yet? Even during the delivery, companies are not going to cover you. At least on rideshare on period 3, you have delivery, but then you have an a-hole in the back seat. Okay. Just like John did. John had dash cam footage when he saved the woman's life from this abuser. You know, have a dash cam. I mean, you know, we recommend Display Ride, which uploads to the cloud automatically. So even if they steal your dash cam, whatever happened is already there. They're going to get busted. You know, they're working on a couple of additional things, which are not there yet, but I think they're going to be great additional tools for driver safety. When they do show up, we'll let you guys know. And your idea today, Chris, was amazing. For delivery drivers, a Display Ride, kind of a dash cam, you know, like a GoPro on their chest, right? I mean,
oh yeah, body camera.
That's an amazing freaking idea, bro. So, you know, because then if this animal, when he was killing the guy, you know, he'd be already in the cloud. He'd be like, okay, you know, see you later. Well, he got
not
busted
only
anyway.
Not only that could have been an absolute deterrent. You know, if you see that camera on somebody, they may think twice about, you know, trying to do something. So yeah, I mean, having something like Display Ride for your like a body camera would be a great thing for food delivery drivers, because unfortunately, you know, a lot of the stories you hear were always Uber and Lyft drivers, but now you're starting to hear DoorDash, Uber Eats, a lot more, you know, Grubhub. You're starting to hear food delivery drivers. And I think it's, you know, unfortunately, people are like, oh, instead of having to go in the car, they just come to my house. So, yeah, it's just the only good thing is what I can say. If you know how to fight, if you've been trained, you know, mixed martial arts, jujitsu, whatever it might be, to be able to protect yourself, Krav Maga, whatever it might be, at least you're on your feet when it comes to food delivery. So if you're training yourself, great. That's probably that everybody should, because you're getting some sort of exercise on top of the walking to and from the restaurants and the deliveries itself. But yeah, I mean, that type of thing, you're right there. You're ready to go. You're ready to go down in the event. Hopefully you never do. But it can also be a great stress reliever as well. So if you get stressed out, yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that you can do as a person to help, put yourself in a better situation. And that is definitely one of them. But yeah, who knows?
So
Maybe
on
we'll be seeing, maybe we'll be talking to a Display Right again, talking about their body cameras, which would be kind of cool.
I think that's a great idea. And if you go to Display Ride site, use RSG20 because they have a 20% off on top of their 25% off until when is it? Until May what? May 15th?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
So
until May 15th.
yeah.
Until May 15th, RSG20 code will get you another 20% off. It's going to cost you $20 a month for a amazing camera that records inside, outside, and uploads it directly to the cloud. That's it. That's only outlay you have. $20 a month for your protection. That's like, what is that? That's like a Big Mac meal. Seriously, I mean, like,
and it's a tax deduction because it's a business expense. So
go check it out.
Either way, it's definitely a no-brainer when it comes to it. So yeah, there's a link going to be there's always a link in the description because we definitely like Display Ride, just because of the fact it is cloud-based and it goes right to the cloud immediately. So that is good.
All right.
Hopefully, and one other thing before we move on, when it comes to because but body cameras are not necessarily the thing that people want to have, but if you have a dash camera, try to get your car set up towards the door, or even, if it can't, move your dash camera to where it will be recording the door. In the event something happens, so it can, show you going up into the door, knocking on it, whatever happens. So in that case, it's just another way to protect yourself, another way to cover your ass in the event something happens, especially if they're like, oh, he didn't deliver my food, or she didn't deliver my food. Well, I got the dash camera right here showing that I was at your door. I put the food on floor and I took the picture. Again, when you take the picture of the number if you can, but the dash camera.
The body cam thing is a great idea. A lot of these YouTubers, what they do, right? They have a GoPro on their head or their chest. They do the drive-alongs. They drive, I delivered this, I delivered that. It's the same thing, except this is for your safety as well, because those don't have any safety. They're doing it for content creation. So I think it's a great idea, Chris. So what's the website? The displayride.com, www.displayride.com.
There's a link in the description if you want to get
the link is in the description. RSG20 will get you 20% off on top of their 25% off that they have going already. So there you go. All right, next one. I'm depressed now. I need a drink.
Well, let's change it. I don't know if this is definitely going to be, I guess, better news, but it's not going to be good news. And if you think it might, but Uber is changing their acceptance and cancellation calculations. So starting on May 22nd, they are going to be changing how they come to their acceptance and cancellation rates. It's going to be based on the last 200 trips instead of what it is now.
100.
And so, the last 100. I keep getting them and Lyft confused for some reason. But either way, it's the last 100 trips currently, but they're going to be 200 trips. So I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Honestly, I thought
it might be.
I had this in my app. I thought about it. To me, it's not going to make any difference. I'm still going to reject garbage. So I'm not going to make 2 diamond. So, I thought maybe for people who want to get the diamond, but they drive enough that in 3 months period, this shouldn't be a problem for them. So in a lot of cities in LA, we don't have that. A lot of cities have thresholds to get to the level of platinum and diamond. In my city, only we require less than 4% cancellation rate and points. So in other cities, on top of the points and the cancellation rate, they have a restriction on acceptance rates, like 70%, let's say. So for a full-time or a driver that drives 30, 40 hours a week, I don't think this is going to make a difference. Honestly, I don't even care, but I put it up because I got like 50 emails saying that, oh, they're changing the acceptance rate cancellation. And I'm like, okay. Then I thought about it. I go like, what difference is it going to make? It's not going to make any difference. So
Yeah.
actually it may smooth out, so what's going to happen is that, the canceled trip that you had is going to fall out later. So your cancellation rate may stay a little higher for a longer, but if doing a lot of trips or deliveries, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Now, to me,
Yeah.
it may make some difference, you know what I mean? But I'm not going after platinum, so to me, it's not going to make a difference. But for the Uber Pro guys, yeah, the rolling 100, as I call it, it may make a difference to you, right? Because if you want to cancel something and then that cancellation is going to stick with you until you do another 200 trips for it to fall out. But I didn't think this was a game changer. Did you?
Honestly, no, because when you look at it, what it's doing right now is the last 100. So if you deny one, it goes down 1%.
Yeah.
Or if you deny one, your acceptance rate goes from 100% to 99%. Yeah. If you cancel one, it goes up 1%. Yeah. When it comes down to it. So the whole thing is it's now out of 200. So actually, I think it's going to, I think it actually may work in some drivers' favor because, if you have a couple of times where you have to cancel because of whatever reason, it's actually going to take double the amount to get to whatever that number is. So let's say it's that 4%. Over your last 200 rides, you can have 8 cancellations instead of 4.
Yeah. So the only thing is, if you're at the end and you want to lower your cancellation, it's not gonna fall out. Yeah. So you may not be able to. Yeah. I don't think this is a big deal. Honestly, I don't think this is a big deal. We put it up because we put it up, and it's like whatever.
Well, we put it up because people got to know about that, especially in the event that acceptance rate or cancellation rate matters to them for a particular reason. Yeah. But I'm with you on that. I don't care about Uber Pro rewards. There's no reward there, and the cash reward doesn't really do anything for me either. When it comes to it, because how to get there. But that's me personally. That's you. Other drivers out there, if you like those benefits or something, then more power to you. But yeah, for me personally, it's not going to matter because acceptance rate doesn't matter anymore when it comes to cherry picking. You want to know where you're going. You want to know how much you're making. So if those two numbers come together pretty well, you accept the trip. If it doesn't, you deny the trip. So that's at least my take on it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a difference. Now, however, the one on the right, excuse me, the screenshot on the right, Chris, what do you think?
What do you regarding think? Well, hold on. Let's read it out so people who are listening will know. So regarding a surge map issue from earlier this year, we fixed a bug where incorrect surge locations displayed, so you'll only see surge map information that applies to you. So Connor, thanks for sending this. But between February 15th and March 3rd, you may have noticed you were able to see surge locations in the driver app, which did not apply to you. We updated our systems to ensure correct surge map information displays the driver app. We understand that this may be confusing experience, but rest assured you were paid the correct amount as appeared on your offer card at the time. My first question that I had when I read that is, what did they show him that they weren't supposed to? Was it something like in a city that wasn't near him? I mean, no, like what was it?
What they showed him is that they showed him another probably classes, like if he was doing X, they probably showed him XL surge. If he was doing X, maybe they showed him another X driver surge. Chris, we talked about this, didn't we? We didn't talk about this algorithmic wage discrimination. By the way, does this date kind of coincide with the test?
A little bit.
Of course,
which does. We're actually which
the first one, the first one, the Chicago one, not the Curvivore one, but the Chicago one.
which we're going to be working on another one soon.
Yeah, soon, this weekend. Yeah, Uber. Yeah, we're coming up, buddy. But anyway, so this kind of almost is a giveaway in their own language, right? That says, oh, what you saw, it was not real. It was from somebody else or something else, but we fixed it. Don't worry about it. All the earnings over that period is correct. I'm going like, yeah. So if this is not getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar, I don't know what is. So they're admitting basically, Uber, saying that, yes, gamification and gamblification. By mistake, we showed you somebody else's surge you shouldn't have seen anyway. But then, we caught it, we fixed it. I wouldn't even send this. If I was Uber, I wouldn't even have sent this. I go like, whatever. They will never know.
Well, I will. First, I don't. You know what? I can't definitively say that that's the exact reason why, because it's so vague. You don't know. I mean, the other side of the coin is it's kind of the same thing when you were able to see the actual fare and the upfront fare from a few months ago that we were talking about. We were going through all the rides from previous before the upfront fare change, when it showed the upfront price and the actual rate card. So we were able to compare that. I'm wondering if it was just something simple like that. I don't know though, because they don't give enough information there. But either way, it's definitely unique.
It says surge map information specifically.
Yeah, but again, what does that actually mean? Like, does it show you Uber Eats versus Uber X, or what's going on? I honestly have no idea when it came to that.
There's no surge on Uber Eats, so it's got to be rideshare.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, what's the difference here?
Hey, it's all good.
I want to know specifically.
Yeah, Connor, they fixed it for you, Connor. And if you believe that, of course. The other thing that may be, that how many months we talked about, the search baiting, right? Search baiting, right? People complain, oh, I was right under $6 or $20 and they gave me $4, right? Uber may be saying that, oh, we showed you 20, but it was somebody else's, but that's why you got 4, because your actual search map should have been 4. I'm like, I don't even know. So to me, like,
I mean, honestly, I would think that would be probably a little bit more where it's the map wasn't correct compared to where you were. It was showing something different than what it should have. Maybe it was the customer side of things and you were getting the driver's side of things. I mean, who knows, really? Unfortunately, it's all speculation, but yeah, whatever it was, it's fixed.
It's fixed. Yeah. One more glitch.
Yeah. One more glitch to add to the system.
Yeah, there's no glitches in Uberland, people.
Well, you know what won't be a glitch on Thursday? There's going to be probably a little bit of surge happening, because there's going to be some drivers out there who are going to be protesting a little bit when it comes to things. So
I'm getting wet. I'm getting wet. I'm not wet in sexual way. I'm getting wet because it's going to rain in LA, for God's sakes, out of all days. So, this is, I mean, I'm a member of Rideshare Drivers United. I mean, there's not a union, so don't freak out, people. I get it to get the news and the emails and whatever they send me. So
I get the emails too. I just got it a little while ago.
So they sent me this, and then I go, you know what? So it'll be a good reason for me to learn how to live stream and stuff. So Chris is going to teach me that today and tomorrow, and set me up. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go down to LAX and talk to some journalists, check out the situation, what's going on, talk to a whole bunch of drivers. So I am going to be at LAX at 9 to 10 o'clock. They have supposedly they're doing this with SEIU, which is another actual union, not the rideshare drivers. We're going to go supposedly block the horseshoe at LAX. Hopefully we don't get arrested. But I'm going to be representing. I'm going to be there. I want to see drivers, talk to drivers, shake some hands, do some live streaming, and talk to some journalists, talk about safety issues, talk about all these issues that we want to talk about, meaning earnings, driver safety, unjust deactivations. We have a little bit of a tailwind on our back. A lot of city states working on these bills and proposals. I'm going to put everything I have in it to back these up. And, I have a good ear of the journalists. We want to voice the driver's opinion, and what better situation than go talk to 10 journalists all at the same time. And there we go. I'm going to be there. Hopefully I'll catch a trip to LAX in the morning, which I'm sure I will. Go there, have a cup of coffee, and then 2-3 hours, hang out with drivers, do some protesting, talk to journalists, do some live streaming for you all, and then hopefully catch a trip back to the Valley and then come back home. There you go.
Yeah. You know what's unfortunate is it's the day before I go to Chicago is when they're doing this. Otherwise, I would have been there too. I would have been in Chicago doing it.
No, they're doing this in like many cities. So it's not like just one LAX thing. But they've been doing, they've been doing these demonstrations and strikes in many cities like New Orleans, and They did it at the Taylor Swift concert. You know, they're just getting the voices out, and it's getting a lot of play in the media. So let's get a push. Let's give it a push. So this is going to happen. And Chicago, you know, New York, Denver, San Francisco, LA, let's go. We're going to go there and talk about it, and you know, voice our opinions. And I'm all for it. We need to give it a push, people. We need to get together now. This is the time to get together, call our legislatures with the help of the media, but we need to play the game right. Media is just not going to do it on our own. We need to bug our legislatures constantly, call them, email them, call them, email them, call them, email them. And then media will play. That will, you know, enforce our opinions, you know, reinforce our opinions. And then they will have to then listen, because now it's like, you know, they want to get the votes. They want to get reelected. So they will have to listen. So we need to push here, people. This is the time to push. So there we go.
Yep. And even if it's not in your area, you could probably do something if you wanted, as well as contacting the legislators. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that could be done. And it's going to be really interesting to see when you're out in LAX and what's going to be happening. So I look forward to that.
I'll be there.
Nice.
So come say hello, people. If you're there, come say hello. There we go.
All right. Well, you know, one of the things when it comes to safety is the fake names that are a major issue that we see, like Big Daddy and Killa and Cold Hot and
Lil G. Remember
anything and everything you can think of. But we have a story from another driver who's reached out to us talking about one of their fake name stories. And again, when it comes to just these fake names and how it should have already been taken care of, but it's not. And I'm not sure what's going on. Uber, what's going on here? There are definitely things that you could have put in place to figure out what names are real and not. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bigfoot.
This is not real.
Bigfoot is not a real name.
This is you. This is yours. The next one's mine. Okay. Every week I get like 3, 4, but I pick 2. Sachin at Uber, Mr. Consol, and Andrew Hasbon. We talked about this 6 months ago. You guys said you're going to purge all these fake names. This is, I don't know how many weeks in a row now that I'm putting 2 fake names a week. Just in these last 20 shows, that's 40 fake names. Please. We're depending on you to do this. We put it on our channel. We said, great job, Uber. Great safety idea. And look at this. I look like a schmuck. Come on, man. All right, here we go.
All right, so this happened in San Bernardino, and says, I'm writing to you today because I noticed Uber is playing some funny games with my earnings. Today I had a rider by the name of Bigfoot. I still went ahead to make the pickup, although I hate picking up riders with nicknames. You're not alone. Once I got there, I waited 7 minutes and he never showed up. Well, we don't know if it was a he, but we'll stick with that. It took 7 minutes because I was on the phone with support asking them why I'm getting ride requests from riders with nicknames. Anyways, I was well over the allotted time and I canceled the ride. My earnings said it was $7.20 cancellation fee. After I left, I got another ride request from Bigfoot again. How many times has that happened? Oh my God, it annoys the hell out of me. It annoys the hell out of me. I accepted the ride by accident, and then I realized it was going to take me back to Bigfoot's house. So I canceled the ride and clicked the pickup was unsafe, and I still got penalized on my cancellation rate. It went from 13 to 14, even though I thought we weren't supposed to get penalized if it is an unsafe pickup.
No, you are.
Well, any way that they can try to get you, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they are.
There's a lot of reasons that shouldn't be counted against you, like unaccompanied minors or children without car seats, or too many people. Yeah. Those things should not be counted against you. Unfortunately, they are. Yeah. But going on, well, I went to check my earnings and I noticed Uber changed my earnings history and changed the Bigfoot cancellation where I waited 7 minutes in front of the house from 7:20 to 5:50. Uber is stealing from drivers. Unsafe cancellations are also counting against us, which 100%. Yeah, and Uber is still sending us to pick up people with nicknames. I've attached screenshots. Could you please take a look and maybe make a video from the story? Well, we're talking about it right now.
Yes, sir.
Uber support added $5 to the account after. So it went from $7.20 to $5.50 and then another $5 to $10.50. So congratulations, Mr. San Bernardino driver.
First of
yeah.
all, I was looking at this. He has 7.6 miles to go to pick up Bigfoot. Do you see the screenshot on the right?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. San Bernardino driver, I know your name, but I'm just going to call you SB driver. Why even drive 7.6 miles? You know, by the way, the cancellation reason for the fee for it to be that high was probably the loan pickup fee that they threw in there. You know what I'm saying? So, because usually cancellation fee in California is like $325 or some garbage. Okay, whatever. So, first of all, don't do these 7.6 mile pickups. Okay, I mean, come on, unless you had something going on, whatever. And when the ping came in, you know, maybe, you know, he didn't see it because it's 8 seconds, 10 seconds. When Bigfoot shows up on my ping screen, that's a pass. That's
Cancel.
a hard pass for me.
That's a cancel.
Yeah,
but no, either way, yeah.
Not even accept. Forget cancel.
You know what though?
Accept.
Hey, hold on. Our SB driver could be a happy ant or in the middle of a streak.
Could be. Yeah.
Or
no, there's no CRBs. I don't know.
It could have been a really good ride that they had. Who knows? I mean, we don't know what the ride actually looked like, but either way, I mean, at least you got paid for the time, so you got $10.50 overall instead of $5.50 or $7.20.
Yeah, there's the proof. He always sent the proof. They lowered from $7.20 to $5.50. So there you go. You know, the fee.
Yeah.
I mean, if Uber is so consistent, they're catching these things, right? How come they never catch it the other way around?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
I mean, this is a sensitive situation here. Like $1.70 worth of mistake, the algo can catch. But they cannot catch that a trip went 30 minutes longer and adjust. Think about this, bro. I mean, come on, man.
You know what though? Hey, I'll give them a little bit of credit because every once in a while, in a blue moon, there will be some sort of trip adjustment that actually goes in your favor.
Yeah.
Rarely. But it you know, it's as many times as you see Bigfoot. It happens supposedly, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Hey, you know, this is one. And then what's the other one? Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Juicy.
Yeah.
It's another name. Juicy. Although, look at that. You got a 525 surge. You notice that?
You know, I probably would pick up Juicy for 525. I'm just delirious. Please, Uber, please. Okay, I don't know if you don't care about, you know, okay, screw the drivers. I'm fighting for my reputation here for the drivers. I told them on the video that Uber is doing good things. They're going to purge all these fake names, or until the passenger can prove that this is their government given name, upload an ID. Look at me now. 6 months later, every week I put 2, 3 of these things. Why? Just run the damn shit computer, whatever you do. Get rid of these names. God damn, man.
Did you you know what else? Well, what else I noticed when I was looking at this one from Juicy? The passenger rating is 4.82, and I'm like, that's probably fitting.
Yeah, probably. Did you see Bigfoot's rating? 490 something, bro. I think it was 492 or 495.
I don't know. It doesn't show the. I'm looking at the screenshots right now. It doesn't show.
I remember it's like 495 or 493 or something like that. So anyway, so Bigfoot, Juicy, whatever names. Every week we have 2, 3. Please, Uber, get rid of these names. Please do. Yep. I mean, I know.
And on the flip side, drivers, if you come across these, yes, you can report them.
Yes.
So make sure you are reporting them in the event that you see them,
and send them to me. Send them to me after you accept the trip. You know, there is a button, X button, saying that why did you cancel or whatever. It says I don't even know what it says, but it doesn't say unsafe anymore. It says something else, or report the name or whatever. Please do that. According to Uber, that's supposed to take this rider off the platform. I doubt it, because the passenger is the golden goose that lays the golden egg. Uber's going to do everything in their power. Not otherwise, how the heck are they going to grow their top line by $20 billion? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, we need all the trips we can get. Juicy, Bigfoot, come on down.
Well, besides these fake names, when it comes to something like Uber Connect or Uber
Yeah.
Eats, and
Mhm.
you kind of get some weird package that comes in your car, and you're like, I don't know what this is all about.
Yeah.
Something seems off, and then you
Uh-huh.
decide to take it to the police station,
Uh-huh.
but yet you get a 1-star from your drug dealer.
Yeah, and then you got deactivated.
Oh my God! So this story, I saw when you sent me this, I was laughing my ass off. I read through this. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, it's a drug dealer gave a 1-star review to an Uber Eats rider
Mother humper.
who took a suspicious package to the police, which turned out to be meth in a toothpaste tube. So good job,
Good job, driver.
Uber Eats. But wow.
I mean, we're like drug mules. We're like coke dealers now. You know, we save women from abuse, domestic violence. we pick up Bigfoot. We drop off Juicy. What the hell?
You know
going
what?
on?
You know what I got to say though about this Business Insider article? I think I figured out why they call it Business Insider. Because this is literally telling a dealer, hey, you could stick it into a toothpaste tube and you could get it delivered through Uber Eats.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
You know, this is them telling drug dealers, hey, here's a way to do it.
Copycats.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I saw this, I go like, we got to put this up because I was laughing. So when I start laughing on my own, I sent it to Chris, and then Chris started laughing.
Oh my God!
I mean, this is reality. This is happening. This is like we're not making this shit up, people.
No,
and
I mean, this is on Business Insider.
Yeah,
a legitimate news organization.
You know,
sort of.
I was in Business Insider 3 times this week. You know that, right? So I'm like,
you were what?
I was in Business Insider 3 times this week. Not in this article. Not in this one.
Why? Because you were the one who gave him a 1-star rating.
Yeah, not on this one. That was, but you know, Business Insider loves me this week, like 3 times, bro. I was like, yeah, thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
App rides, thank you so much. Donnie is my man with 100 and 0. That's why I call Donnie 100 and 0.
Well, you know, cancellation accepted rate recalculation is not going to
matter.
to him.
It doesn't matter. To him, it doesn't matter. What difference does it make? He's on auto accept. What difference does it make? It doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
Donnie.
All right. Well, let's go to another crazy story that you sent, and I laughed when I saw this.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we want to know, what are the weirdest things that you had left in your car? So put them in the chat. Let us know. Not only that, we're going to be wrapping up very soon. So if you want your chance at another $25 gift certificate, money, put in hashtag money into the live chat right now. You will be entered into that. And we are going to be doing the drawing very soon. Don't worry. We didn't forget about it. We are going to be doing that in just a few moments. We do want to allow people to do that. But not only that, we want to know not only the hashtag money, because we know you want money in your pockets, but what are some of the weirdest things that you've had left in your Uber after a ride that you've seen? So
I've seen it all in my car. On this front, Chris, I'm as boring as it gets. I think, first of all, I always had a good habit. When I finish a trip, I always turn around and look back in the back seat, right? Because morons will leave shit, and then I don't want to deal with it. So for me, nothing exciting, nothing. I've seen everything in the car happen, but not in this subject. So I think maybe like I'm on just a phone. That's it. And it only happened to me maybe out of 10,000 trips. I probably had stuff maybe like 3 or 4 times. That's it. But Uber brought out their list. This is like a famous list. They came out 2 days ago, April 30th. And, you know, a lot of people left a lot of interesting stuff in poor driver's car. Now, when I look at a, unicycle probably in the trunk, okay, that's a possibility. Or a maybe skateboard or some shit, because I don't let them bring in the back seat. I always have them put in the, trunk, right? Now, as a driver, how do you miss fake blood?
Because you were probably trying to pull something. You know what though? A lot of the times,
Okay,
you
look at
might
this
just
one.
put it in something and it could fall out and you completely forget about it,
Yeah,
or you
it
don't
can
know.
roll down
You know
the
how many
seat,
people
maybe.
come
Yeah,
in? Yeah,
yeah,
how many people come in with shopping bags or something? You're picking them up from the mall or
yeah,
from the store or whatever, and they put their bags down. Something could fall out very easily, go under
yeah,
the seat, and you just don't know about it. I mean, it's quite amazing. When I clean my
yeah,
car, I do the same thing you do. I look behind, I look down. I have the neons in my car, so everything's lit up nicely.
yeah, yeah.
So it hopefully prevents people from leaving things, especially something that may fall down. But things still happen.
I
Things get jammed up and you just
Yeah,
don't
no, I
know.
get it. I get it.
And
So they,
so,
what
yeah,
did you
cleaning
say?
out my car every once in a while, you look, you vacuum everything and you're like, oh, well, what's that? There's like $18 worth of change. Somebody's purse fell out or something. I had no idea. So it's like, oh, somebody gave me a good tip.
Mhm.
Other times, you might get something else that they put underneath and you just didn't realize, or they might put in the back seat in between the
Yeah,
fold there.
right, right.
I've seen a couple of things in my car that you may have forgotten about or not known about. And unfortunately, that's hard to see sometimes when you're looking behind. So nobody claims them. So it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
sure.
And
But for the
because
most part, yeah, it's
since California is pot legal now, I'm pretty sure, a lot of drivers will find a joint or two in their cars or something, and then next passenger gets in, smells the pot and you're deactivated. So, but a lot of people are saying shit, but I can't read, it's going too fast. So the top list included this year's list of 50 of the most unique lost items, including bizarre mix of intimate personal items. We can guess what they are. Remote control, okay, well, vibrator, and a bottle of
buzz
Britney
buzzer.
Spears. Remote control. Why even remote control? I'm not even sure. Why do you need to have a remote control vibrator?
So you
Anyway,
could turn it up higher, lower.
oh yeah,
Come
there
on.
you go. Yeah, you want to be controlled?
So
Okay, then
the
explain.
wireless ones are fun. You could have
Chris,
you could be
we're gonna get
controlling it.
demonetized. We're gonna get
Buzz
demonetized.
buzz. Buzz buzz buzz.
Yeah, buds, yes. Yeah. So anyway, Britney Spears fantasy perfume to outright strange belongings, like a 16-ounce container of fake blood. I go like, okay. It must have been during Halloween, probably. Next page says several living things. This was like, seriously, people? How freaking high are you people to leave your living animals behind?
Yeah, that when I saw that, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with
Yeah, what the
people?
hell's wrong with humanity, right? There you
Although,
go.
I mean, they say including multiple dogs, turtles, hamsters, and
Megan,
at least
behave yourself, Megan.
one rat, all safely reunited with their owners.
Yeah,
Thankfully, probably shouldn't be going to their owners if they forgot them like
should
that.
not be. Exactly. They should go to a shelter. Look at several living things. What else was like, including dogs, plural, turtles, plural, hamsters. I'm like, what the hell, man? At least one rat. Okay, that probably was a New York rat jumped in the, in the Uber. All safely united. Okay, all 40 sets of dentures. God damn.
I'm like, are you kidding me? But I saw, that
This is
still
what
makes me
happens when
laugh.
you do medical tips, bro.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. They're probably forgetful already. So
Okay,
maybe they
that
took it
was a
out,
bad
they
joke. I
forgot
shouldn't have
it,
done
and
that. Okay. That was
I
an
wouldn't want to
insensitive
touch
joke.
them though.
I apologize to all our elderly. I was an insensitive joke. I may have dentures in 5 years, so not bad joke. Bad surge. Among the most commonly lost were like predictable things: clothing, wallets, devices like phones, a laptop. How the f do you leave a laptop in an Uber? I get the phone. Laptop, bro. Come on, man. Don't you like feel your lighter when you get out of the car? Anyway, most forgetful city was Jacksonville, Florida. Huh. San Antonio and Houston and Atlanta. Indianapolis, and also featuring in the top 10. So all the people in the chat from those cities, check your back seat. You may have some shit happening there.
Oh
And
yeah.
also reported a rise in drug paraphernalia. See, yeah, that was coming. Marijuana legalization continues in the US. Yeah, I'm sure, you get some pipes or some, good
Yeah, but
ganja
you know
or
what?
whatever.
The whole thing when it comes to that too, if you have it in your pocket, how easy is it for it to fall out and then
Yeah,
go into the seat? So
yeah,
that type of thing, I understand. Like, yeah, you're
yeah.
going to see more uptick as if
All
more
right.
people are able to do it and all that stuff. But Yeah, sometimes some of the things that you hear on these lists, it's like, what in the hell? So we'll be looking forward to next year's list.
Yeah, Uber. Yeah, sure. All right. So
All right. So you know what it is. It's hashtag money time.
let's take
So
money.
if you want to get in, if you got fast fingers right now, hit hashtag money in the live chat, hit enter. Right after that, hit the like button because you're already on your phone. So make sure you do that.
Okay.
And we are going to be giving away another 25 bucks.
Yes, Lady Coleman, Show Me the Money Club. Every Tuesday we're here. Please join us every Tuesday. We're giving away free money for the rest of the year. If we can negotiate,
maybe.
we're going to increase
Hopefully.
this by four winners for the show now. The better we do, the more we give back. This is our give back to you guys. Okay, so there you go. Ready? Freddy? There we go.
Who's the winner? Dun, 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 dun. James L. Congratulations, James.
James L.
You are a winner. Congrats. We gotta get a
L.
little thing that you can play because it's so anticlimactic without music or noise or something.
Look at buddy. Come on, buddy. Partner. We need a starting song and we need a drum
We
roll.
have that starting song. It's just not up yet.
Drum roll. We need a drum roll for this one. Is that legal? No, that not your drum roll, like an actual drum roll. So,
well, yeah, we can do that. We'll get that.
Let's do that. Let's improve a little bit. Look, Money Hungry is like so much technologically above us already, and they're only like been around for 2 weeks. Anyway, so are we done?
Yeah, that was the last little bit. So again, make sure you're safe. Do what you got to do. Start taking some defense classes out there, car defense. Some sort of something that will keep you safe. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's got a good reputation. Make sure you get a dash cam. Like I said, we recommend Display Ride. And for RSG viewers like yourself, they're doing exclusive 20% off. So you're getting $20 a month instead of 25, which is awesome.
I have one. I love freaking Display Ride. Okay, but then with the things we know they're coming, I'm gonna love it more because I'm like, you just go and you forget about it, and then trust me, all the passengers who have ideas, they automatically behave better. Okay, so I'm giving the warning: Timothy B and James L. Email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com for your $25. If you don't email me, you're not getting the money. There you go.
I'm going to spend it.
Well, if I don't get it, how do I know where to send it to?
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, we can have a drink on that one.
Well, I think they're gonna want their money. I mean, if you don't want your money, I don't know why, but
thumbs up.
All right. With that being said, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will be here next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be going over Lyft's earnings report, see how drastically different it could potentially be, or maybe better. It's going to be interesting to see too what they may have to say when it comes to drivers, how they're going to try to compete with Uber. So it could be a very interesting call, even though the numbers might not be great. I'm definitely interested in what they have to say. So we are going to be happy about hearing what they're going to be doing. And hopefully we have some good news when it comes to that. Theirs is on May 5th, which is Friday or something. Thursday is going to be the protests that are going on. So if you're going to it, take a couple of screenshots, take a couple of recordings, talk with some drivers, and then send it our way and send it to Sergio on what it looked like, how many people were there.
I'm going to be there, bro.
I'm talking about you're not going to be in Chicago. You're not going to be in Denver.
Chicago. No, I misheard. Yeah, whoever's going to LA, please, let's shake hands.
Yes, if you're going to LA, you can meet Sergio. But if you're going elsewhere, then go to the different ones, send some screenshots to us and see how they all turned out. We would be appreciative to see how they turn out and what goes on from there. And also tomorrow's show, Money Hungry with Kim and Zach. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're subscribed again so you don't miss that. And that is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific. Megan, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate
did you get your
that.
hat, Megan? Megan, did you get your hat? I hope you got your hat.
Have an idea, proof of contact with legislator for a chance to win Display Ride subscription.
Okay.
Proof of contact. Well, that would be pretty cool. I don't know.
Proof of contact
Maybe.
with legislature to win this. Okay, we'll talk about that. And Megan, send me an email. I sent you a hat. Did you get it? I hope you did.
I don't know if that's the same Megan or if that was a different Megan.
Oh, that's Megan Long. This is Megan Perron. Not Megan Perron.
Yeah,
I
there's
take
a
it
couple
back.
of different.
Can you email me, Megan Perron? I'm going to send you a hat, RSG hat. And there was one other person that became a member, Sheldon Gonzalez. Please email me, Sergio@russiaguy.com. I'm going to send you a hat. So there you go. Are we done? We're done, right?
Yes, we are.
What else is there? I'm missing. Oh, huge shout out to Zach. Please watch his video. Go to our channel. And I don't pump Zach too much because I love him anyway. But today's video,
You love to mess with him.
today's video, I tweeted the crap out of that thing to all the legislatures, to DK, to Tony Zhu, to Lyft, to Uber Eats, to the DoorDash, to all the legislatures I know, all the journalists I know. Man, that I pumped the thing up. Please go watch it. That's an amazing video he put up today about transparency and driver safety. Go watch it. It's great, like crazy good. So there you go.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely go check that out after this. So we are signing off. We will see you guys next week. Be safe, be smart, make that money, and we'll see you next week.